All right, welcome back to the show. It is October 21st here in the windiest state in the country. I'm Nathan Creeps, joined by my co-host, Mr. Bryce Borscheller. We are 3 days post Kinnick Stadium, and I still have not obtained 100% of my voice back.
I was wondering if that was allergies or Kinnick Stadium, the Hawks. Should have guessed it was the Hawks because that was an awesome game.
What an all-time weekend, very tiring weekend. It was your birthday weekend. The Hawks
Yep.
delivered for you on
They did.
Saturday, and man, I can't wait to get into that a little bit later, just about how Saturday went down with the weather, environment, obviously a Hawkeye win, your birthday. But man, cousin Mike flew into town Thursday, so we hit off B-Dubs Thursday night. Friday night we head to Iowa City. That's his one ask every time. He's like, "Can we please go to Iowa City?" And everybody knows the consequences that come out of downtown Iowa City. Following up with the night game at Kinnick Stadium Saturday. So tailgating all day, followed up by a golf tournament Sunday in Waverly that took forever. And it was just the windiest day ever there too. And you know what wind does to you. So your boy is
Battle tested, and you've got some scars now. But overall, it seems like you came out on top. It's pretty funny watching Michael Berkey fly in and then join you at work via Snapchat. Those were great Snapchats. I'm glad you guys got some free labor out of the Berkshire. And then we also saw via Snapchat that you guys went to Brothers and saw the pet band play at Brothers, which is the beer band. Yep. Total throwback. That's one of my favorite things. I think we've talked about it on the show before. I used to love going to Brothers on Friday night and seeing the beer band. Then just a long tailgate day. We didn't get to Iowa City until 12, and it felt like we got there at 8 a.m. by the end of the day. Wild tailgate day.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, speaking of that, you rung on your birthday in Iowa City.
The big 3-0.
Yeah.
Big 3-0. And there was no better way to spend it than being in Iowa City. It feels good. I definitely was thinking about this birthday more than previous. I'm usually not a huge celebration person, but this year we did do a little bit more, got the family involved. I don't know. I guess birthdays are fun for me, but this one I was just a little bit more sentimental. You're turning into the new decade, getting older, getting wiser, hopefully. It was good. Yeah, had all the fam there. My sister's boyfriend has just an incredible tailgate setup. They just do it in their garage, but they have the best food spread I've ever seen. Wings and corn mac and guacamole and pulled pork. And I mean, he said that when he dies, he wants on his gravestone that nobody ever went to one of his tailgates and left hungry, and they deliver every single time. So it was a great day. I mean, best weather tailgate day I think I've ever been a part of.
This is your sister's
and then capped off with the W. It is. Yep.
And he's got a crib somewhere near Melrose.
Yep. They're just a little bit further down. So they were just right behind the Marriott, and they moved in, I want to say June, maybe July, and so they're just off Sunset.
Oh, dude, if you can get a house location near Melrose, that is a great spot for a tailgate. Oh, what a connection! Hold on to that one. Jeez.
I know. It's been a nice little plug. I hope that they stay together. I cross my fingers. He's pre-med. He gets, I think, selected to go and do his next part of his doctoral program in March. So we're hoping they stick around. 1, 2, I hope that they keep that place because it is a great place to tailgate.
Yeah, you hold on to that. I saw you brought a special guest with you this weekend.
Yes, and we, last minute we had Ben Krieg join us on the road. He's like, "Do you mind if I ride with you?" I'm like, "Ben, we've been friends for 10 years. Of course you can ride with us and join in on the festivities." Everyone's always welcome at these tailgates, and it was good to have a partner in crime. I drove to and from naturally. The way to Iowa City on I-80 is the fastest you'll ever go on I-80. The way back is maybe the slowest you'll ever go. So it had just started to get windy on Saturday night after the game, and maybe a couple sprinkles here and there between Grinnell and Des Moines, especially around 11 o'clock. Oh my God, the traffic was horrible.
Did you guys watch the game at the house, then leave?
We did. Yeah, we did. So we left at 9 or 9:30.
But that way you could beat the traffic, though.
Yeah, we had the intentions of that. By the time we dropped my mom off, grabbed a couple birthday gifts. Yeah, we did not beat the traffic. We sat and just suffered for basically 2.5 hours on the way back to Des Moines. So
Yeah.
not a very fun way to end the birthday, but it was good to have a partner in crime, Ben Krieg, nodding off in the front seat with me.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of the I-80, one of my least favorite stretches in the state of Iowa is between Iowa City and Des Moines. I hate it. Avoid it.
Yeah, that's interesting. You say that. Darian just said the same thing. I didn't realize how bad that was. I just kind of zone out, and by the time I know it, like I blink and I feel like I'm in Iowa City. But that doesn't seem to be the case for you two.
Yeah, well, usually I take Highway 30. Well, that's because I go from Cedar Rapids, and Highway 30 would obviously to Marshalltown. The hop on down. It's just less congested. You know, you feel more free.
Yeah,
That's the nice part.
Yeah, 30 is way less busy for sure.
But yeah, I'm going to talk tailgate without talking the game here. Yeah, dude, the weather was unbelievable, and when you're looking at the forecast earlier in the week, they're speaking 60-degree rain, and it's just looking terrible. And then by the time Thursday, they remove all the rain, and they're pitting a high of 75. It got a little warm at one point, but then the clouds came out, and it was fine. But one of my favorite tailgates of the year, we have my cousin Kelsey from Colorado come in, Michael from Texas, my sister and brother-in-law coming from Laguna. They bring my cousin Ross, who proposed to his girlfriend Becca. Got the job done. She said yes at the tailgate. That's my first ever tailgate proposal I've ever been a part of. We popped champagne.
Congrats to Ross. That's awesome. What a way to do it.
And then we just vibed. The weather just makes a whole hell of a difference leading up to a night game at Kinnick. And man, we were feeling our way walking into the stadium. That's for sure.
Yeah, the late games have a way. By the time you've tailgated for 6, 8, 10 hours, depending on when you get there, holy cow! So, are you drinking at Kinnick when you get there?
Yeah, well, it depends. I try to have maybe 1 or 2 beers at most there at the game. It depends who I'm with. Michael's a good influence on getting that 3rd or 4th beer with you. Yeah. So, yeah, I probably had more than what I usually did this time. But that was okay because we spent the night in Iowa City. So,
okay. Yeah, see, that's like usually like you're probably driving and stuff. So it's like not as interesting to grab those extra drinks. So it's been so long for me since I've been at a game at Kinnick that the last time I went, you basically sobered up by halftime because they were not selling beer at the time. So what I'm thinking like 2015 or 16 was the last time I actually went into Kinnick. And that was horrible. So I at least need one to tide myself over. But
yeah, I usually get 1 at most 2, and then I usually done with those before halftime. You just kind of chill, enjoy the game, because then it takes forever just to leave Iowa City after. But yeah, no, it made a difference because we're staying in Iowa City that night. But
okay, Nate, I see a note here. You have attacked downtown Iowa City on Friday night. What happened here?
Yeah. So we went to. I'm gonna save that part for before we get, because there's a good Penn State story, not a great Penn, but that'll tie into the game as I dive into that a little bit. So I'll save that. But yeah, we followed up Iowa City next day with a golf tournament at Waverly, and incredibly exhausted before tea time. I was pumped to play in a tournament. First couple holes were fun, but it was so windy, and then by like the 8th hole, I didn't want to golf for the rest of the year.
Yeah, it's tough. Like the wind will take all the fun out of golf.
Our group all day was hitting balls at the group behind us. It was hilarious. Or if they looked up, there's 6 balls coming off the tee box over their head, if not at them, all day.
How'd they take that?
Luckily the guys knew them, so they're pretty chill. If they said if there's a group to aim golf balls at and be close to taking their life, this was the group. So they were pretty chill with it. But
I only 3 years into the golf career, I really still need to work on etiquette. There's so many times where I'm walking in people's lines, hitting golf balls into the group in front of me. That's maybe the one thing I need to like really improve. Not skill side.
This group was behind us.
Oh,
so like the wind was so bad when you were hitting.
Oh, you were hitting it behind them.
So it was so bad it would go to the hole to the side, right? It would carry over fairway every time. It was just nothing you could do about it. Sometimes the ball was carried 2 fairways over. And it was we go off the tee box, and our carts would be scattered all throughout the course, and that's what made the day so long. Everybody was
Yeah.
looking for their golf balls, and it just made for a long day.
Yeah. So are you officially retired for the year?
Yeah, yes, there's no doubt until Simulator League, but yeah,
I'm on the fence. I'm thinking I'm done. I might have one more in me, but I'm close to hanging up the clubs.
Yeah, I sucked. I couldn't putt to save my life.
Nate, we had a huge moment last week on the pod. Personal story of yours. The boys, Donnie and Doug, went mega viral this last week. And we got messages here and there from granddaughters, from friends of Doug and Donnie. One of my favorite stories on the pod of all time. And I'm glad that it got the recognition that it deserves. For anyone that listened last week, for anyone that saw the clips, for anyone that did not, there was a little bit of an incident at Troy Mills. Plane gets strung up in a tree. Some kayakers report it. Lots of local government resources go to check out what's going on. And it makes it all the way across Troy Mills and Cedar Rapids Facebook groups. And your coworker is now mega viral.
And this is why Doug is one of my favorite coworkers of all time, because this is just another day in Doug's life. Doug and Donnie are always up to some shenanigan shit in that acreage lot they have, and they're always doing something. Now, this one got the government involved for the first time, but not with their personal intent, you know? It's not like they did it on purpose to get their intent, and that's why it's funny. So, but through the grapevine, Donnie's already working on his next project.
He's working on his next stunt.
His next stunt. And hopefully we can keep the helicopters out of the sky and report issues. But can't wait to hear and see what these guys do next.
I can't wait either. I said it a couple times to people that replied, you know, like, hey, this is Nate's coworker and this is Bryce replying to you. I would love to meet them. I'd love to just see what's going on the acreage and just, you know, in a small way be a part of it, because that was a legendary story. So looking forward to the encore. It sounds like they're always up to something, but I'm excited to see what the next viral stunt will be.
Yeah, all the videos we posted on social media, I think racked over 250,000 views of that story.
Yeah. Well, oh man, a lot more now. That Facebook one is up at like 250 itself. Yeah. So
I love
congrats. Congrats to those boys for going viral. Local legends. You were saying that it's kind of the talk of like the bar scene, obviously the Facebook groups.
Yep, the bar scene of Aunt Darma's in Troy Mills, Iowa. I wish you could see this town, because it's.
I know. I definitely have not spent time there, but
it is middle of nowhere. It's got like 5 buildings. They got the bar Aunt Darma's. And they walk in. They were already legends there. You know. Now they walk in.
Right.
Without even knowing it was them, everybody knew it was them.
Wanted to at least give one more props to the boys. You know, we talked about it for quite a bit of time last week, but that was a fun week seeing that clip go around, and you know, mixed reviews for sure. There's always a couple Karens out there that get a little pissed off, but hey, they're just trying to have some fun.
Yeah, solid weekend. Bryce, let's dive into some weather records here. We originally planned to do this podcast on Monday, October 20th. So our Iowa history and day is still going to be October 20th, and weather records for October 20th. The weather high for yesterday in Des Moines was 65 degrees. And for October 20th, weather records in Des Moines, we have a high of 88 degrees set back in 2003. Lowest temperature recorded at 20 degrees Fahrenheit in 1960. Most precipitation, 1.12 inches set back in 1936. What we need to start adding to this is the wind record. Mm-hmm. My God. It's today.
Today is bad. I guess, you know, technically yesterday was kind of bad too. But
that's 3 days.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, that's for sure. I think there is a few more things on these weather reports that we can add. Dude, I don't know about you, but I'm very close to turning on my heat.
Yeah, no, we had a kickers on the other night. Dude, it's flip of a button. You know, you go from that beautiful day in Iowa City Saturday to, winter's going to be here in no time.
Yeah, like you said, almost I was hot at points on the tailgate, and then I've been cold for 3 days. Just the Iowa stubbornness. I'm not quite ready. I'd like to wait till November, but
it needs to hold off for Halloween night, because we are huge Halloween people. That
Yep.
go out annually every year for it, and there's been some cold Halloween walks to the bars.
Yeah, there has.
And
Yep.
depending on
Yep.
your costume, like last year, I was Nacho Libre shirtless.
Yeah. Yeah. The year before, weren't you Globo Jim? So that wasn't exactly super warm.
Nope.
You,
I think last year wasn't super cold, so luckily the Nacho Libre wasn't too bad. There's been some cold walks in some of my outfits. There's no doubt about it. And so this
yeah.
year, I still haven't got my outfit yet, but this year I am planning for something maybe a little more comfortable, just in case.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. That's a good plan because it does tend to be very cold. Speaking of, I just got my stuff in the mail. This will be a little warmer outfit for me, so I'm actually going to be, I think, okay.
Good deal. That's what I like to hear. All right, Bryce. On
All
this
right.
day in Iowa history, October 20th, Herbert Hoover, the only U.S. president born in Iowa, passed away on October 20th in 1964 at the age of 90. He was born in West Branch in 1874.
Always thought it was pretty cool that we had a president that was born in Iowa. It's unfortunate, when we bring this up on Iowa Chill content, it usually gets a lot of negative comments. I don't think he's a very well-loved president. Still very cool that we had one that was born and raised in Iowa.
You ever been to his museum in West Branch?
I haven't.
I don't recommend it.
Nothing really going on, or what
No.
was the issue?
It's cool just to drive by him, like, oh yeah, because
Yeah.
it's like his house was there, so they still have the house, obviously renovated, but it still looks like a modern day. But I went there, I'm like, I'm fine if I never have to see this place again.
West Branch is kind of on the east side of Iowa City.
Yep, about 15 minutes east of Iowa City, just right off I-80 there.
Okay. Yeah, probably not going to make a big effort to go to that, but if, maybe sometime I will. I don't
Hey,
know.
at least we got a president.
I know. Whether he was loved, hated,
We got him.
we had a president. Mm-hmm.
All right, Iowa news, Bryce. It looks like, what is this outage?
Were you affected by this AWS outage at all? Was it the company you work for affected at all?
No, not to my knowledge. Don't know anything about
Okay.
this.
So AWS is like Amazon's cloud storage software. And Monday morning, I wake up early. I'm ready for the week. And I'm watching morning KCCI news. And I see that there's this AWS outage. I don't really know much about them at the time. I've been seeing their advertisements on NFL football. All of a sudden, I go to check to see if my Sunday night football bets have hit. And all the betting apps are down. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Just kind of start the day. Talk to Emma Criswell, Emma Martinson. They're like, Snapchat's down. And, we're kind of putting the pieces together here, start looking at the news online and see that this AWS stuff is affecting everything from like Teams to Snapchat, gambling. So it's kind of like this. It's not, I don't know if it's necessarily like the base platform for what's running and keeping these things alive, but it was out for a good portion of the day and affected a lot of stuff in Iowa, at least for our day-to-day life, which
Gambling.
yeah, Snapchat, all the important stuff, but even things like Teams, we had a Teams meeting scheduled and had to reschedule until it was live again. So just kind of a weird start to the week there, but it affected a lot of different companies.
No, I didn't have any problems with it. I didn't even know it was a
That's
thing.
good. That's good. I'm glad you're not checking bets at 6 a.m. like I am.
No, I was checking my bets Sunday night. You said it was out Sunday night?
No, I believe it was like
Uh,
technically like Monday morning.
Okay. No, I was still recovering from the weekend at that point.
Yeah. So interesting start to the morning. Everything's up and running now. Now that it's Tuesday. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. All right. Hopping back to it. I just want to give people my state of mind thought. Yeah, I walked in Come and Go Sunday morning at like 7 a.m. to get Gatorade, body armor, all that. And I walked in and the girl's like, "Good Lord, this man needs to be replenished." Just the worker there.
Sometimes it's very visible. Yeah. Sometimes those little hangovers can be visible.
Holy shit.
Aside from the voice, you seem like you're rebounding just fine.
I appreciate that. As long as I look the port. It's payday here in Iowa, Bryce, for two
Yes.
Iowans. First off, AJ Green, the Cedar Falls alum, Northern Iowa alum. And actually, no, he graduated. I don't know if he graduated, but he left UNI after 3 years of playing. Signs a 4-year, $45 million contract with the Milwaukee Bucks. And his story from going undrafted to G League to getting a contract and playing as a starter now with Giannis Antetokounmpo and basically taking the reins over from Damian Lillard because he got traded. That's huge. What a story that is for AJ Green.
Yeah, huge. Like small town Cedar Falls kid. You and I. It's not the most glorious road to becoming a very, very important player in the NBA now for a team that is a contender every single week. Oh my!
This is one of my most prized possessions. So I've been an AJ Green believer my entire life. And one of my good friends, Sam, I think you might know Sam, Colby's friend. There's no way he's making the NBA. There's no way. So we've been DMing each other for the last 5-6 years. And obviously the last 3 years, he's finally kind of made his way into the NBA route. And you're still kind of doubting him. And I think last year or 2 years ago, he finally admitted saying, Nate, I was wrong, Nate. After he signed
that's incredible.
A contract or whatever is basically listed as a starter for the Milwaukee Bucks. He finally admitted he was wrong. So I got this on a canvas, and one of my favorite.
Yeah, huge win. So that contract only solidifying the fact that you were once again correct on the AJ Green side of things. Yeah, it's such a cool story. I love that you know ball, and I like that you're believing in our homegrown Iowa talent. Green is so fun to watch. Like he plays that role so well. He got a great corner 3 ball.
He's got such a high arching shot release. He
does. Yeah.
So when I saw that in college, I said, "Yeah, this guy with that release,
that will translate.
It will translate to the NBA." So, and you proved me right. So congratulations to AJ Green. That's huge. Cedar Falls native. Another Iowa native out of Cedar Rapids, Keegan Murray. 5-year, $140 million contract. And that's not surprising because he broke the rookie NBA three-pointers made in his rookie season. Has obviously been a standout in the NBA and was a huge standout at Iowa. And that's good for him. Congratulations.
Just solid. He can do everything. He's smart. Playing for some quality Sacramento teams and just doing exactly what you need. And can you imagine getting $100 million more than $45 million?
Yeah, that's crazy. So now we need to make sure he stays loyal to the University of Iowa and keep, I think, which scares me because now, they have a new head coach there. I don't know how close I am to them, but Kenyon Murray, his dad, is still very involved with the Iowa basketball program, so that's good. It seems like he's got a good relationship with Coach McCollum, and Coach McCollum should be licking his chops every day. Say,
good way
your son signed a big contract the other day. How's he doing?
Yeah. It might help his tax implications to donate to the government. I'm just saying, it's not a bad idea.
Keegan Murray Court at Carver Hawkeye Arena, maybe. Huh?
Interesting idea.
Yeah, we need to keep those ties close when those guys get those big contracts.
Speaking of the sports world, Nate, this was big for a couple of the gals that work for the Iowa Chill. First female sports bar opening on Ingersoll Avenue. This bar will feature primarily women's sports. Kind of cool. Naturally got lots of flack from the male audiences, but I think it's going to end up being a really cool thing. And what better place to have something like this with, in the birthplace of Caitlin Clark and just the meteoric rise of women's sports, because of people like her. So kind of a cool thing happening on Ingersoll Ave in Des Moines. Heroics Bar. I'm not sure when it's going to open, but sometime soon.
Yeah, I remember a bar like that, similar to that, opened up in New York and received a lot of flack. That's just boys being boys,
Boys just giving shit,
They want to let their sport be dominant, and that's how they are. I would never go here unless if Caitlin Clark is playing. Maybe I might step in, but it's still a step in the right direction for them. So I'm happy they got somewhere they can feel like they get where the girls can hang.
I completely agree. I'm not even sure if I'm allowed yet. I got to look into more of the detail. That's one thing. The last thing that they want is
not allowed. That'd be kind of cool.
Right. I agree.
That would make me want to go. They should do that.
A lot of times, you want inclusivity in today's day and age. I wouldn't mind a little exclusivity here. Let the girls play.
Yeah.
I would say if we are allowed, can you imagine an Indiana Fever playoff game there?
That would be awesome. Yes.
Could
The
be
first
cool.
20 boys get in, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's what they need to do. That's
I would
exactly what
camp
they need
out
to
for
do.
that. I'm like, me and 200 girls watching Kate and Clark. Sure, sure, I do that. We're on to something. Maybe we should open our own girls' bar. We should implement our idea, and then
That sounds like an idea
we
we would
go
have come up
bankrupt.
with in college to get girls. Yeah, that not a bad idea for anyone that needs a new business idea. Nate, even bigger news. The 2025 winner of Iowa's Best Breaded Pork Tenderloin was announced by the Iowa Pork Producers. Hometown Heroes in Grinnell, Iowa takes the crown. You were the original champion of the Iowa Pork Tenderloin, at least online.
Yes, I have. I did my rounds with a lot of tenderloins in the state of Iowa, and
Have you touched one since?
yeah, I did. I touched one yesterday. I got one from
Oh,
Toad.
okay.
I actually got a tenderloin from Toad yesterday, which is one of
Nice.
my top 5 tenderloins in the state. I think. If I had to rank my favorite tenderloin in the state, it was actually a place in Cedar Rapids called Bomax downtown,
Okay.
and so my coworker knew all about this place. Kind of knew the people. He's like, "You got to get it. We got it. We got it. Oh my god, we got it every week for like 2 months straight."
Yeah.
And it was awesome. It was best tenderloin. And then I like my 10th time there, I told the workers, I'm like, you guys, I'm being honest, I've done the tenderloin tour. I think you guys have the best tenderloin in the state. That next tenderloin I got was one of the worst tenderloins I've ever had in my life.
Oh no.
And then 2 weeks
It
later,
happens.
2 weeks later, they closed down. So
Damn. Yeah, we went to one when we did that little series. We went to Starlight. My grandpa over there likes Tailgaters, I think, which also has Iowa City locations. And then, God, what else? I think that they've had a recent nominee by the Iowa Pork Producers, so maybe Tenderloin Capital of the World, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Speaking of Grinnell, though, we have a top 10 best pizza places. So Grinnell has not only one of the best tenderloins, they also have, I think, one of the best pizza places in all of the state, Hawkeyes. So those coming out soon. I hope we can get a cosign from Rob saying there. We threw in some Mabe's Pizza. I've heard good things from about everybody about Mabe's. Still need to try that one.
shout out to Grinnell. If we did a top 5 segment for top towns in Iowa to raise a family, Grinnell would probably be up there. Now you throw in the top pizza joint and the top tenderloin.
You got some people's attention now.
Grinnell's making
for
noise.
sure. The jewel of the prairie, Grinnell, Iowa. And then final one, Nate. I'm sure you saw this one. I want to see what your thoughts are. Iowa basketball jerseys are unveiled. What's your initial thoughts as the new 2025-2026 basketball variation jerseys come out for the Hawkeyes?
Not much. Not much, to be honest. Maybe they could have got a little spicier with the script. Everything but the script I kind of like. I maybe get like a 7 out of 10 on it. The script is so bland. I don't think much of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did see a lot of that. I think Chris Hassel even said something like that. Kind of a nothing burger in my eyes. I do like it's a little bit more of a vintage look, but not a whole lot of.
Have you seen the bleachers? They've been put behind the hoop.
Yeah, and you guess who I saw it from? Our good friend Cyclone Larry.
Oh no!
I think
he saw the bleachers
for that.
Yeah, we deserved all the hate in the world for that. But for what most people saw, it wasn't the finished product. But whoever released that picture should be sued.
Yeah, should probably be executed actually because that was terrible. They, from that picture, you'd expect like 15 students total to show.
Oh my god! You just shook your head at. But yeah, I've seen an updated picture. It looks a lot better now. It's still like it. My thing is, they're finally doing something about it. When I talked to Beth Getz down in Orlando for the Cheez-It Bowl 2 years ago, the very first thing I said to her, I said, how can we get students around Carver Hawkeye Arena, around the seats, not shoved up in a narrow row all the way to the top? Make them have an impact, make them want to be at the game, and get some of those people who sit down and leave extremely early out of the front rows, okay? Make this arena electric, and you start with the students surrounding the court. I mean, you look at Michigan State, their students around the court. Illinois, one of the most hostile environments in college basketball, or when students are right near on top of the court. That's what makes Kinnick Stadium so awesome, is that the state fans are right on top of the field. Do the same for Carver Hawkeye. We're taking a step in the right direction. It's a small step, but it's a step.
Yep. Yeah, I totally agree. You have to have students running the energy in college sports. Like it just makes zero sense if you're not like making it student first. That's like all the frenzy. That's what makes college sports fun.
Basketball season's tipping off here soon too.
It's coming up quick. NBA, I think tip off is tonight as we're recording on the 21st. And yeah, colleges.
NBA starts tonight?
NBA's, dude, I remember back in the day they would start on like Halloween-ish, and now it's just like it's like almost 10 days earlier. Now so yeah, college basketball coming up right behind too.
God, NBA's gonna be playing 11 out of the 12 months here before we know it. It's insane. Crazy. All right, but before we get to the basketball season, our Hawks are alive, Bryce. And as they come back from a comeback victory to take down Penn State 25-24 at Kinnick this last Saturday. Before we get into the game stats, I want to talk about how special of a day it was that weekend and the environment, one of the top 3 environments I've ever been inside of Kinnick Stadium. And I was received a lot of flack because Penn State's 0-3 in the conference, 0-4 in the conference now. Iowa hasn't beat a single team this year that doesn't have a conference win. That is a ridiculous stat, by the way. But as I was downtown Iowa City Friday night, there was a lot of Penn State fans. And I was actually incredibly surprised to see all these Penn State fans. We talked to a lot of them. And I'm like, why are you guys coming here? Like, Iowa. We've had this circled on our schedule all year long. Our friends do one away game every year. It was the same story for everyone. We want to go to Iowa. Mm-hmm. And they're asking me, how's the environment going to be? Because obviously Penn State isn't what it is. And I said, when you throw in the weather, that's going to be beautiful. Iowa's playoff chances are slim, but they're alive. It keeps this fan base on their toes. A night game at Kinnick, and I told him, when I've been tailgating all day, and I'm going to Kinnick Stadium at night, and I walk through that tunnel out into the stadium, and I see Nittany Lion white, you best damn believe I'm going to be ready to go for this game. And I guarantee you Kinnick Stadium will be bumping tomorrow when they see Penn State on that field. Forget the record this year. Penn State is still Penn State. That is a brand coming into your stadium that you want to be. And my God, the Kinnick live up to everything you could imagine. I mean, listen to my voice. I gave everything I had. I might have been the loudest I've ever heard Kinnick Stadium.
Yeah, and you said that before. Out of all the games I've watched, that was like you could feel that environment through the TV. That was insane. I do miss I mentioned where Nathan Schwery's tailgate is. My sister's boyfriend Nathan. They were at just right behind the Marriott, and so you could always hear the stadium. When you sit outside, you can kind of hear it. We're a little far away, so I do miss that. But holy cow, you could tell. Just how loud it was. And to your point about the Penn State fans showing up, we had a couple porta potties just outside or just like down the road from where we were at. Unbelievable amount of Penn State people. I couldn't believe that. Like with how that season has been turning out for them, and it's a pretty good jaunt to get over here. I was really impressed with how many people showed up. Clearly, Iowa fans, this is one we circle. We circle every blue blood, every major football program that comes to Kinnick. Like that game is always circled for us. So yeah, I totally agree. I knew no matter what, this was going to be a good environment. You tack on the good weather and you have nobody no showing. So that's awesome to hear. What was they do the decibel thing and in some, oftentimes Arrowhead will be up like around 125. What would you guess Iowa was at?
I don't know. Maybe 113, 114. I couldn't even give you an accurate number. I don't know too much about those decibels. But that Penn State fan, Michael, somehow got his number. Texted him right after the game saying, gut-wrenching loss, but Kinnick fucks.
Yep. What'd the guy say?
That's it. It's gut-wrenching loss. Kinnick fucks, though.
Oh, okay. That was his reply. Yes. Yep. Yeah, Kinnick Stadium, man. It's been so long. I need to get to a game. This was one I talked to the family about going to. It wasn't in mom and dad's best interest to go, so we didn't. I've got plans to go. That needs to happen because these environments are just electric.
Yeah, especially
it makes me pretty excited. The striped out game's sweet.
What also makes it an interesting game is Iowa keeping it an interesting game by making it close. And how does
Yep.
Iowa do that, Bryce? The same damn way they did it against Indiana,
Yeah.
turning the ball over off a tipped pass. Not necessarily Mark Gronowski's fault. Obviously not. Jacob Gill drops the pass on third down right into the Penn State one-hand interception. They go right down the field and score a touchdown, just like Indiana did to start off 7-0, make it a game.
Yep, 2 biggest games of the year so far. We have started in the absolute worst way possible. You tack on a blocked kick from 67 plus yards that Drew Stevens had to line drive into the Penn State players. Just a lot of things going Penn State's way in the first half, and otherwise it did not look that good.
Penn State or?
I didn't think that I thought I was very, very confident in the Hawkeyes going into halftime, even with the deficit we were down. Because I thought we outplayed them in a lot of ways. Outside of like a tip pass interception and a blocked kick return for a touchdown, felt like a lot of ways Iowa was the better team in the first half, even if the scoreboard didn't reflect.
Right. Iowa's 2 massive turnovers gives Penn State ultimately 14 of the 24 points. Iowa does get 1 takeaway or 2 takeaways, one huge one from Xavier Wampka, who was just announced as the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week with 7 tackles, 3 assists, 1 forced fumble, and an interception to the 1-yard line. That's back-to-back weeks where the defense has had an interception to the 1-yard line. Damn close to getting the Doughboys a pick 6. A huge step up from Xavier Wonka. That's the shit we've been talking, we've been reaching, we've been wanting from our 5-star recruit out of Southeast Polk. Man, he looked awesome that game, and he brought life right back into that team. Mark Gronowski punches in for 1-yard touchdown. And another thing we told these Penn State fans, Bryce, all throughout the day, Saturday and Friday, was, hey, I listen to a lot of Penn State podcasts throughout the week, and I'm kind of sad about the disrespect you guys are all giving Mark Gronowski. Because the funny thing is, when these guys who are not doing deep dive in Iowa football, they'll just look at Mark's stats. And when you're looking at a QB stats, the first thing that always pops up is just their passing yards and passing touchdowns, and never shows their rushing touchdowns, rushing yards, unless if you're looking at a running back. So they immediately off-wave them. And I told them, that's a no-no. You guys, that's our guy. Okay, this guy's a running back playing quarterback. If he's on the ground, he's a lethal weapon as anybody is on their offense. So watch out for him tomorrow. And my God, the Mark Gronowski deserved every dollar he got from the University of Iowa for that win.
Yeah, yes, he is a running back playing quarterback. Neither quarterback, Grunkmeyer or Gronowski, even sniff 100 yards passing, but Gronowski was crushing with his legs. Most notably, the go-ahead score drive when he runs for 65 yards,
67-yard run.
Yeah, he is a freaking beast. I love his energy. He's a leader. He's a winner. It's all the things that we were hoping going into the season. We gave him a lot of flack for the way that things looked early on, and that includes the Cyhawk game. Really, really feels like he's hitting his stride. And honestly, to me, he looked really healthy.
Yeah, he's not fully healthy yet, but you can tell there's just a little gimp in there. But if you're running for 130 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns, I think he had, right? No, 2 rushing touchdowns. I'm feeling damn good about it. And obviously he's going to continue to get better each week with Iowa as long as he stays healthy. Now his deep balls, they could use some work.
They could use a little work, no doubt. I think that he throws well enough to win games late in the season. But yeah, no doubt, like, people are going to dog on us a little bit because he just doesn't have the stats. There was a tweet that was out that, had we beat Indiana, Mark Gronowski is in the running for Heisman. I think that's a little bit of an overstep because they give the Heisman to a guy with great quarterback stats, and Mark doesn't have that. But
he's third in the country in rushing touchdowns.
Yep, he does have the rushing stats, and he is definitely hitting his stride at the right time.
Yeah, what an unbelievable game. And the defense, when they had to get the stop, they got the stop. And when the offense, the play of the game is a 67-yard run. But how about that fake Aaron Rodgers air guitar handoff for Gronowski to slide around for that third down conversion to milk the clock and solidify that win for Penn State? He had me fooled in the stadium, and I was the perfect angle to where I could see the ball in his chest. Unbelievable sell.
Yeah, that was sweet. I was already counting the seconds that they'd have left in the game to go down and get a go-ahead field goal, and Gronowski just snuffed that out pretty quick with that fake. That was so sweet.
Yeah, defense is starting to look alive here after we called them the no boys. They took that personal and they moved on. And Iowa moves to 5-2. Huge game coming up here against Minnesota. And I'm continually not going to give Kirk Ferentz any credit because I know he's listening to this podcast. He's waiting for me to say, good job, Kirk. And I can take a chill pill and relax. No, Kirk, foot on the pedal. Keep fucking going. I am not impressed yet.
Yeah, I agree. I think the winning formula really has been this podcast not giving Kirk any credit. We made this mistake last year. We jinxed him every other week, it seemed. And this year we're not going to let them have this. We're not going to say a good thing about Kirk until he's done with this season. And I think that's going to be a winning formula. Nate, this is a game to not overlook.
No, hell no.
The Gophers had a massive win against Nebraska at home last week.
24-6 beatdown of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and I can't believe Nebraska was 7-point favorites, and you and I took advantage of that immediately.
Yep, we texted back and forth. Some of the group chats here in Des Moines had Nebraska covering a spread. I'm like, not only am I saying Minnesota cover, I'm thinking the Gophers win this game at home. You're playing Mahomes Jr. You got Fleck. Fleck in that tie and that energy thrives off of being an underdog. And good call by us. Did not think there was going to be a damn near 20-point victory though.
No. Minnesota comes off of 9 sacks. It's a program record. Raiola has been seeing the dirt all year long with that terrible offensive line and the lack of getting the ball out quick enough. But Minnesota's a solid team. They're kind of like Iowa. Very good running back in Darius Taylor. Minnesota always has good running backs. And what I can't believe here, Bryce, is that Iowa opens up as an 8.5-point favorite at Kinnick Stadium.
Yeah. Do you think that's a little like?
I thought it should have been 3.5.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, here's the thing: Lester has turned things around. This offense looks so much better. The defense coming alive for sure. We're making everybody's life hell, including the number 1 Heisman candidate right now in Mendoza. So 3 weeks ago now. We made them look tough. I think that's way too much. I think Minnesota's a lot better than people are giving them credit for.
Yeah, I don't like that spread being that high, and it's going to get Minnesota juiced up, and that's the last thing we need. So hopefully Vegas knows more than what we know, and I kind of see what they're saying. But like I said, I'm not giving Iowa any credit until they finish out the job for the rest of the season. But massive game, blackout. And before we move on to Iowa State, Iowa is undefeated at night. They have not won a game in the daylight. This is a kickoff at 2:30. By about the fourth quarter, it'd be itching towards sunset.
Yes.
And the other big thing is, Bryce, Iowa is undefeated when I wear my gold jacket.
That's even bigger news.
They've never lost a game, ever, since I've had this gold jacket last year.
I'm going to need you to kind of keep that thing on for 6-7 more weeks.
But it's a blackout, so I don't know what to do.
Well,
I know. I got to figure something out this week.
It's going to be chilly-ish. So you could always wear black over the top.
I know, but God, that's a lot. This jacket, I get so many compliments when I'm at the...
It's a good jacket. It's a really good jacket.
I reach out to me, ask me where I got it. But yeah, lucky gold jacket, blackout at Kinnick Stadium. Looking forward. It's going to be a massive game. You win that game. Yep.
The Hawks are in the top 25. I bet they're
Oregon coming to town next.
Well, here's the good thing. Night games we're crushing. The end of this Minnesota game will be in the dark-ish, at least getting there. Oregon at night, and there were some people, Ty Schmidt included, on the Pat McAfee show that said Oregon has another thing coming. So I want to get through Minnesota first before we get too far ahead of ourselves, but I do like the way this season's shaping up. I bet we get some votes for that top 25 here soon if things keep going this way.
Iowa State looks to bounce back after a bye week and 2 straight losses with a great chance on the line here to take on the undefeated Brigham Young University Cougars, the number 11 ranked BYU coming to town.
Yes, the Soakers coming to town. This is big. I think this is the week that Iowa State gets back on the horse. I just know what better opponent than a top-ranked team coming to your place on homecoming.
And it sounds like Con Riley's coming back and Carson Hansen will
Mm-hmm.
be playing. So that's huge. Absolutely
Yep.
massive for Iowa State. They get the kick and attack back. I mean, he's taking a couple weeks off. We don't know how he's going to look, but he's still a threat. We've seen it with our own eyes, unfortunately, from the Iowa version. Iowa State opens up as a 3-point favorite. And I was a little curious. I thought maybe it should have been BYU 2-point favorite. I look into it. BYU, yeah, they're 7-0, but all their games are incredibly close. We're talking one,
Yeah.
2, 3-point wins.
Yep.
And we
Yep.
know Jack Trice.
It's that 3 points is the Vegas home field advantage. So they're basically saying this is like a even game, which according to history that BYU has been playing, and then they're just giving that 3 points to Iowa State. I do love Iowa State in this game. I maybe had the worst take in podcast history saying that Rocco Becht is a Heisman finalist by the end of the year. I was getting a little excited about Rocco. Okay, that's part of these hot takes on the mic. I do think that they win this game. BYU takes down Utah last weekend, so they're riding high too. I don't think that they necessarily want to come to Ames.
No, hell no. Who wants to play in Ames, Iowa? Especially in October. I mean, there was Brocktober, Rocktober.
Rocktober's the same.
Jack Trice is the last place you want to play in the Big 12 when it comes the October and fall football. Fun game. Kickoff same time as Iowa. 2:30.
Yep. First time we'll see Campbell on the sideline since the rumors have circulated about him taking the Penn State job, which just is not going to happen, by the way. Like, he's not the guy for that. There's better, more qualified, more candidates closer to the Pennsylvania area, but it is kind of funny that his name always circulates. And finally, it's not just Hawkeye trolls; it's people saying, nationally that he might be a good contender. So excited to see how he handles that. I expect he won't care in the slightest.
Yeah, my favorite Twitter account is like Dan Palm or something like that. He's he's a Hawkeye troll. And anytime an opening opens up in the country, he immediately puts Matt Campbell's name in it. And he always says, there's mutual interest. We expect this to move fast.
Yeah.
It does it for Ottsburg
every time.
It is.
It's always funny.
Yeah. I wish I could watch that game. It's too bad. But yeah, big football here in the state of Iowa this week. All right, Bryce, we're going to wrap it up the show with a top 5 segment of ranking our top 5 content creators in the state of Iowa.
Great segment. I know I've been talking about this one for a little bit, just between you and I, and I'm kind of just excited to highlight all the people making fun videos. Like, these day and age, like, we're scrolling a lot. Everyone's on their phones quite a bit. These are the people from Iowa making our lives a little bit more joyful or fun.
All right. Were you doing like individual content creators, right? Was that
I did kind of do that, and okay. Honestly, like, most of them are like not YouTube or streamers, but I think that qualifies. So however you ranked them, I think that works.
Okay, I'm going to start off because I have 2 quick honorable mentions.
Yep.
Jarrett Stodd of the Flex Factory. He's in my honorable mention just because I'm sure he's not even really Iowan, but he's got something going on in Des Moines, Iowa, or is he Iowan?
Yeah, I think they're from Oskaloosa.
Oh shit. Then
yeah, Darian works with his sister.
So they are officially Iowan. Okay, my bad.
They are, yep.
One of the biggest content creators here in the state. Just open up these sweet gyms. Old black look to him. He's got the one eye, obviously. A lot of energy.
Yep.
He's making some waves here. There's no doubt about it. And Connor Young. Up and coming.
Oh, absolutely.
I like Connor Young. A good friend, Connor Young, especially your good friend. Kind of like a fitness guy. Does a lot more than just fitness, though. We know he's been taking some lessons on, acting and everything like that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I love it. I love what he's got going on. I buy into his content. He's got something cooking, and I'm watching.
He does. He's doing good. He's a grinder. He's been working with golfballs.com notably lately, which has been really cool. He's been kicking 60-plus yard field goals on TikTok. Really fun content there because he used to be an Iowa Western kicker. Lots of good content, lifting, football, kind of a mixed bag with old Connor Young.
Okay. I'll just go ahead then. With my number 5, Ellie Jennings. Ellie Jennings is a content realtor.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since I bought a home, I've been obsessed with real estate. And the way she's taken her showcasing and, showing her listings and housings in the Des Moines area. I love it. It's nothing
Yep.
super fancy, but I can't get enough real estate content, and specifically here in the state of Iowa. I love what she's doing. She's taking a different approach to it. She's making it feel she's approaching our age, if not younger, and it's poppy, and I like it.
Yeah, I love it too. I think she does she makes every home and then like every town look really interesting. I like that. Like you can get this place in this town, and she kind of showcases a little bit of everything. It's always visually appealing. It's always fun. Like this day and age, like the way that or this part in our lives, it makes a lot of sense to follow this home content. Definitely, I got weirdly enough Ellie Jennings as an honorable mention alongside Joyvin Weingarten, a Pella alum, making just farm content and Iowa-centric reels and TikToks. She's crushing it out there too. So shout out to Joy, shout out to Ellie. Nate, my first one though, you will never believe who this is. This is going to be Kristen Faleta. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but she's my recent favorite TikToker because she's pretending that New York City is Des Moines, or Des Moines, Iowa is New York City. And that has been hilarious to me. So she'll go to random parts of Des Moines and she'll just pretend like she's in NYC, which I think is what all of us Iowans do. We pretend that we've got a little bit more than we actually have, and I love that spirit. Am I circling back?
Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe the best to ever do it as when it comes to animal content, Mason Corkery and Gucci the cow.
Gucci the cow.
Yeah. Mason's been doing this a long time. Gucci's gotten really big. We met Gucci when she was pretty young. She's a beast on the both in person and online, crushing it. Mason's always taken Gucci all over the state of Iowa, public places is kind of his MO, and it's amazing. It's very great Iowa content to see a cow in the middle of Des Moines, Iowa, or in a public place where you wouldn't expect to see a farm animal.
Love it. One of the all-time animals in the state of Iowa, and I've actually got to meet Gucci the cow once, so love it, support it. Great pick. My number 4, Bryce, is an up-and-coming content creator here, Griffey Clark.
Okay,
heard of him?
Tell me about Griffey.
Griffey Clark I think he's got about 40,000 on Instagram. I'm not sure how many followers on TikTok. It's just a day in the life is all he's really showing. And those things are so fascinating to me. I think he's an engineer, workout enthusiast, huge Hawkeye fan. So he shows quick end of the huge golfer too, obviously. Shows end of the day, work, go home, just him working out, making his food, going on a run with his 2 retriever, going on a run at the end of the night, making more food at 11 o'clock at night. It's crazy how much time consuming it is just to record this crap. And I respect that a lot. And then he was at the game this last Saturday too. So showing some of the tailgating, his footage from the Iowa game. And then the next day he follows it up with a marathon in Des Moines. So just insider life content I love. And obviously an Iowan. So I'd like to see it.
Yeah, those day in the lives like suck me in. I love seeing how people kind of prepare for their day. It's always some sort of like aesthetic editing that I really enjoy watching. I don't even know. Like you could be making a smoothie and it's somehow interesting because you cut it like that. So I do love those too. I'll have to check out Griffey. That's cool.
My number I'll go circle back for my number 3. Probably one of the biggest influencers, content creators here in the state of Iowa, Miles Flynn, who is a high school choir teacher at Indianola with over 1.4 million TikTok followers. This guy brings the energy, and I wish I had this. I might have gone off for choir if I had this guy as an instructor back in high school. So shout out to Miles Flynn for making a huge impact in the state of Iowa. Making choir fun. I didn't think it was that fun back in high school, but I can sit and watch his content, and that's good.
It's cool. It's such a fun niche. Like the singing community is kind of where TikTok even started with Musical.ly and all that stuff. So like very like true to that platform. Totally forgot about him on this list. And there's so many people like that I'm probably forgetting that I maybe have followed for, years ago that I kind of like forgot about almost. So yeah, definitely shout out to him. That's such a cool niche. I got to go back to Pella for my number 3. Reese Schnell. The brother of a kid I graduated with, Dakota. We call him Duck. We call him Doug. His little brother is crushing the social media content game. And his deal is kind of teaching people how to eat healthy, work out. He's going on 10-mile runs. He's going to Spain. He's going to Japan. All through this content, which he's now monetizing in an expert way, in my opinion. He is blowing up. And if you're looking to get in shape, this is a guy to follow. He's a great follow.
Love it.
Number 2, this guy. It was between my 1 and 2. JT, the Iowa investigator. I've learned so much.
Guy. Love him. I forgot about him.
I've learned so much from the investigator, and I owe him so much. I'd love to collaborate on some Iowa Chill content with him because he's knowledgeable. He's going on a tour right now. He's checking out a bunch of different, kind of doing like a road show, but he's always got the best Iowa history and like fun facts. Great follow.
Oh, he's killing it. He would have been a top 2 for sure on my list. My bad, JD. I totally forgot about your content, but dude's killing it. Can't wait to see what more content he produces here. Really pitting Iowa, giving it a name for itself and some of the cool history.
For sure.
That was your number 2?
That was my number 2.
Okay, Bryce, my number 2 is they don't really make content anymore, but it was a one summer content hit. These guys back in the summer 2021, their name were Seth Barner and Austin Schneider. The page is called Wander More in Iowa, where they went and visited every single town in Iowa that summer.
I remember this.
One of the coolest journeys I've seen throughout, a year. And honestly, it was just that small stretch. But man, did I follow along with every town they visited, kind of read into it. And what an accomplishment,
Yeah.
What a goal that you reached.
That in itself is cool. Yeah.
There's
forgot about those guys, but that was a fun little ride.
There's a lot of towns in Iowa I can give 2 shits less visiting, but they did it. They did it, and they meant business with it too. And they wrote a lot of cool shit about everything. So credit to them. That journey alone gets them in the top 2.
Yeah, good poll.
All right, my number 1, Bryce. You might correct me here if I pronounce his last name wrong, but without a doubt, Mr. Drew Dahl.
Oh, yeah, great poll. Yeah, no, I
that guy makes waves after waves after waves, and man, does he make Iowa look good? Man, speaking of, he is Mr. Boji. Okay, Mr. Okaboji. When Miller's Bay is alive, he showcases it to the world. And when the Des Moines skyline is lighting up, oh baby, does he put that on the spotlight and present it to the people? Yes,
there it is, right there.
Dude, that guy
never gets featured, but it's there.
Love
him. Drew is so good at what he does. He's got a small production company. I definitely thought about putting him on this list. There was a couple of guys. Isaac Jarnigan, whose brother we graduated with at UNI. Same kind of deal. Make Iowa cinematic, make AIM cinematic. Both these guys are creating such quality content. And I was very close to putting them on there. I did not. I'm glad you had Drew because Drew has been doing it a long time. He does it at a very high level. My final content creator, my favorite food reviewer, the Iowa Gallivant. He's the big fella. He's been everywhere this last year or so, quickly growing and following on TikTok and Instagram. He's just got a very lovable personality. He's trying foods from everywhere. Huge state fair run. This guy's awesome. You're going to see him everywhere. And shout out to the Gallivant because I've been following and I will continue to follow all of your food content. And you always make me hungry.
Food content and just daily in the life content is so simple, but so effective and so fascinating. And I love that somebody here is doing here for the state.
Yep. That was fun. I'm glad we didn't have any crossovers, did we?
Ellie Jennings for honorable mention.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, otherwise pretty unique list. It's fun. Like I bet if we had 2 more people on this pod, they'd have 2 completely different lists. Yep. You would think in a small town or a small state like Iowa, you'd all be following the same people, but that's kind of what's fun. Like everyone has their niche and everyone does their different unique style, and it's kind of fun to highlight 5 of our favorites.
Yeah, we support them. Keep doing your thing, people. We love the content.
Yep. Alrighty, Nate. What do we got left? Anything?
Just heal the body. Look forward to some great football this weekend, and stay warm out there, people. It's flannel season.
It is flannel season. We're under a flannel warning now. Officially,
Yes.
It's under 60 degrees.
God, I could have used one today. I was cold out there.
All right, you have a good week. Adios.
Just west of the Mississippi.